Hello, traders, and welcome to the Friday wrap-up. It is Friday after the New York close, June 5th, 2015. Great to be with you, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue, sunny skies, and it looks like it's going to be a hot one today. It's early in the morning for me, traders. It's after 6, just after 6:30 in the morning as I prepare this video for you. Traders, remember this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our website at fxclearing.com. Traders, we're going to go over some daily charts, and we have over 15 of them to look at today. And remember, the purpose of this is to look at price action, what we might see in the week ahead. So let's get started, and let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I am your moderator for the Friday wrap-up every single Friday after the New York close. Traders, I started trading in 2006 and 2008. I retired from a wonderful 27-year career in the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday to celebrate my 27-year career. Well, it's 2015, traders, and I'm still in Thailand, and I'm still trading Forex every day. Yes, I do trade Forex every day, looking for opportunities and probabilities that are on my side to hopefully be successful in my trading. All right, let's get the legal stuff out of the way. This is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Most importantly, traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system and methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's head over to the commentary for the week. I thought this was a great trading week. We had a lot of movement. NFP came out today. Well, it's your Friday. It's actually Saturday morning for me. NFP came out, and it was 280 versus 223, so it was a good number. Surprisingly, I was a little disappointed in the amount of pip movement. There was only like 60 pip movement, 70 pip movement on a lot of the trades. I did make a couple of pips, didn't make a lot. I really don't trade NFP. I had my scalp hat on, and I was, tell you the truth, I was actually in my room in my recliner, and just because I always watch NFP, and I was just playing around and decided to hit the button, and so I made a couple of pips on the euro dollar. So it was fun. It was good. When I scalp, I only scalp 10 pips. So I scalp 10, and my stop loss is at 10, and when I hit the button, it does everything automatically. It's kind of nice. I think next week we have a great trading week ahead. Data's, as much as a lot of people don't like data, data is what moves the markets, folks, and you have to have data. You have to have news. You have to have people getting on microphones, and that's what makes it complicated when we trade Forex, because we do not move in a straight line. Let's go over the indices. The US 30 closed negative 0.31%. The S&P 500 closed negative 0.14%. The NASDAQ closed up 0.18%. The Russell 2000 closed up 0.82%. Going over to the Eurozone, the DAX closed in the red at negative 1.26%. The FTSE 100 closed negative 0.80%. The CAC 40 closed negative 1.33%. And the Eurostoxx 50 closed negative 1.30%. A lot of red in the Eurozone. Let's head over to Asia, see how they closed yesterday. The Nikkei 225 closed barely negative at 0.13%. The S&P ASX 200 closed in the red barely at 0.11%. And the Shanghai closed positive 1.54%. That Shanghai is doing some unbelievable up moves in the last month. The Hang Seng closed in a negative 1.06%, and ending our indices is the Kospi, which was negative 0.23%. So traders, I guess my point is, I'm looking forward to a good week. I think we had a great week this week. We had a lot of pit movement, and some of our trade plans didn't work. I think it was Thursday. It was a disaster. Every trade analysis I did just didn't work, and that's the way it is. That happens. You can analyze and do a trade plan. That doesn't mean the market's going to do what you planned on it to do, and it sometimes just does what it wants to do. And that's why we look at daily charts. Always look at higher time frames when you're trading. Okay, we're going to take a look and review some daily charts. Like I said, I think we have over 15 daily charts. Looks like 17, if I count it right. And as usual, let's get started with the euro dollar. The euro dollar is really interesting. It couldn't get up to that resistance level at the top of that chart there, and on Thursday it came back down, and then of course dollar strength caused the euro to come back down. So now we're back to 1.1111, and so we're back down, at the bottom of the barrel again. So we'll see what happens. This euro was really all over the place this week. If you look at Tuesday and Wednesday, this thing really took a charge to the upside. Remember, we were at 1.0873, and this just absolutely has taken off. So, depending on dollar strength and what happens, there's a lot going on. You got this Greece situation, and you just got a lot going on. Draghi did a speech which moved the markets. So we'll see how the euro goes, but the dollar maintains this dollar strength. And I'm telling you, with these NFP numbers, I would expect to see a lot of dollar strength in the week ahead. As we know, the dollar Swiss is opposite of the euro dollar and really has done nothing this week. It's just hung out at the 200 exponentially moving average. Don't expect much out of that, and that's normal. So we'll just let that be. I put this chart up because I like to watch the dollar Swiss. I don't trade it. I told you in the past that I trade 8 currency pairs. There's 42 currency pairs, and you can't trade all 42, right? So I can only fit 8 on my monitor, So I only look at 8 currency pairs during my trading day. Other than that, the others will just have to sit on the sidelines and wait for me to pick them, and that'll take some work. I like trading currency pairs that trade at least over 90 to 100 pips a day. I don't want to be trading a currency pair that only trades 40 pips a day. It's like a waste of my time. The pound dollar took a drop. Wow, look at this drop it's taken the last couple of weeks. Now it's at what? Support. Look left of the chart. Here's a great example of what I talk about all the time. Always look left of the chart. Always look for support levels. It broke support, came back up, and it's, been a crazy pair this week. And twice it's ended up Wednesday and Thursday with dojis. So taking that into account, what do we expect for the week to come? Well, we're going to find out. And if we get a blue day on Monday, this continues the uptrend and we'll continue to, we're going to move back up. This just basically fibbed this last current swing, and it's going to continue to the upside. Or we're going to get a change of trend back to the downside. Now, due to dollar strength, I would expect that's a very strong possibility that we will continue to the downside. But look at the last candle on the right, and you're going to see what are we coming into. We're coming into some pretty strong support. Now, that's a lot of pips away. So, it's like over almost 200 pips away. But, you got to keep that in mind when you start trading. So always refer back to your higher time frame charts, depending on what time frame you trade. Here's a dollar yen, just give you an idea. If you don't have the dollar chart on your platform, always go to the dollar yen. It'll give you a good idea of what's going on. And look at this dollar strength. Just absolutely banged it out yesterday. With that NFP number coming out, there's nothing else it could do, right, except for going up. So, and that's exactly what it did. So really blew it out on yesterday's NFP numbers, and we just have dollar strength everywhere. Here's the euro yen. Love trading the euro yen. This was bearish for a long time. Now it's bullish. It's way above now this 200 exponential moving average. In fact, all week it stayed to the upside. It's closed with 2 doji, so we're closing with a doji now. So it'll be interesting to see on Monday to see how this reacts. You remember Asia has not traded the NFP yet, so Asia's going to have some influx on what goes on here. So we'll see how this euro yen works out on Monday. I always say that if there was a day that I can not have to trade, it would be a Monday. I don't like trading on Mondays. I do, but because I love trading, not because I have to. And Mondays, if I had to pick a day to take off, it would be on a Monday because basically everybody's like reevaluating what's going on for the week ahead. Let's take a look at our good old friend, the pound yen. What a nice week it had. Look at this, just higher highs and higher lows and just keeps moving up on this daily chart. Keeps taking out those highs. I mean, it doesn't get no more bullish than this, folks. There's no question in your mind what you want your bias to be for the week ahead. The pound yen is just moving up. It's just bullish, bullish, bullish. And that is the attitude we have to go into in the week ahead. Let's take a look at the Aussie yen. Aussie yen can't break below that 200 exponential moving average. It is the only indicator I use on my charts, folks, is the 200 exponential moving average. The only difference you would see if I had my live platform up, you would see support and resistance lines. And folks, you can get that for free if you Google it if you have MT4. I don't use MT4 on my live account, but you can get an indicator that will put your support and resistance lines on your charts for free if you just Google it. I did it last week for somebody, and we found one, and it basically every day recalculates and puts your support and resistance lines on there. And that's all I have on my charts. I don't have no stochastics, no MACD, no RSI, no CCI. None of that stuff is on my charts. I trade price action, support and resistance, and I do use the Fibonacci tool a lot. I fib everything. All right, let's head on over to the Aussie. The Aussie, wow, what a change this made, huh? Yeah, absolutely. Monday was a dull day, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, we had that big green up, blue up candle, and that was data. Remember, folks, that was data, and then continued into the next day. In fact, that big blue candle is, I think it's over 200 pips. I think it was 223 pips that candle is, that the Aussie moved to the upside. I was like, what is going on here? And I absolutely missed it because I was not expecting it. This really threw me for a loop. I was expecting it to go up, one, because we're at support on the daily chart, but I was expecting it to go up on the good data, and wow, did it take advantage of that. And then you can see Thursday and Friday, it's come back down to where it started. And most of the time with news data candles, they always come back to where they started. Here's the euro pound. I don't trade this a lot, traders, I have to tell you. I do trade it, but I don't trade it a lot. But this is euro pound, and basically, it's bearish. If you take a look at this spatial intelligence, this is very bearish. And we're looking to, we don't want to be selling this, right? We want to be selling this. The pound is stronger than the euro. We know that for sure. And we don't want to be selling this. However, if you take a look for the last, 3, 6, 7 days, trading days, it's been bullish. Now we have two red candles to the downside. So is it a fib of the previous swing? Like what's going on here? So we'll just keep an eye on that. But it's a good guide to use, and it's a great tool, just like I use the dollar yen as a trading tool. I don't trade it, but I do use it as a tool, and I'll take a peek at it every so often. And it's not one of my 8 pairs, by the way. However, this one is New Zealand dollar. Just absolutely love trading this pair. This pair is just unbelievably. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, bearish, bearish, bearish. Monday, Tuesday gave us this up move. Everybody was, on the blogs and all that stuff. I don't know why I read that stuff. It just boggles my mind. But anyhow, I do read what's out there. And, change of trend. This is going to go to the upside now. And I'm like laughing and saying, you all are nuts. The dollar is too strong. The dollar is much stronger than New Zealand. The only thing you have to watch with the New Zealand is that it's a commodity pair. So if we had a G7 summit, and then we had this meeting and that meeting, and remember, the New Zealand dollar is going to react to any kind of data that comes out. That's just the way it is. It's just going to react. And you have to realize, and one that's more sensitive than that is the Aussie dollar, which is really reacts to data that has nothing to do with that currency pair. So just keep that in mind. So the New Zealand dollar, the Aussie dollar will react to data almost all the time. So just keep that in mind. And here's the US CAD. This is another commodity pair. And this pair we always want to look at when we have big fluctuations in oil. The CAD is really big into the oil and will react to oil. However, this is in a sideways range. Oil really hasn't moved. 68 cents one day, $1.23. It's running about $58 a barrel right now on the New York NYMEX crude oil. So it's not blasting away there. They're expecting oil to go back up to between $70 and $80 a barrel. I predicted that all along, that I think we're going to be back up to $100 a barrel before it's all over. But I think that's going to be 6 to 8 months down the road. But it's inching its way up slowly. All right, here's another pair I used to trade, and that is the pound Aussie. This is a good pair. This pair trades over 130 pips a day on a 4-week average. And now look at this. This daily chart is at resistance. This is going to be really interesting. And we have this huge wick on here. And I look at that wick as a thruster. So I'm expecting this pound Aussie to break this resistance next week. So my bias, if you were going to trade this, would be to the upside. The funny thing with this pair is I don't understand why the spread is so big on the pound Aussie. I have no idea why. None of the pairs have a spread like this. This has like a 5 and 6 pip spread. I just don't get it. I just don't understand that at all. But if you are trading it, you would definitely look to be taking this to the upside. I mean, the Aussie is weak. It had a couple of good days last week, but the Aussie is weak and the pound is stronger. So, you just want to take this to the upside. And that big wick tells me this wants to continue to the upside and break that resistance. So it'll be interesting to see as the week ahead. And Euro Aussie, I do trade this. Great pair to trade. It's above the 200 exponential moving average. We did close yesterday on a doji. And of course, I take that to news, folks. I take that to news. And the reason that probably closes as a doji is people traded NFP. NFP ended. They waited a couple hours, probably New York lunch after New York. And what happens? Now, I was sleeping. That's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning for me. So in Thailand. And what happens is, everybody takes profits to close out for the weekend. And you end up with a doji. However, this is bullish. We are bullish on this pair. Just wanted to show you real quick. This has been a long video. This is the US dollar. So the dollar went up, came back down, and now has been sideways for the last 5 or 6 days. It's really done nothing. It hasn't really obtained anything. It's just maintaining its strength. And I expect this to go up. I expect a absolutely blue candle on Monday from the US dollar after those NFP absolutely great numbers coming out. Expected 223, came out at 280. So I expect we're going to see some real movement Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with the dollar strength. I think that's really going to impact the markets next week, depending on what happens with Greece. But they extended and they expended and all that good stuff. So they didn't pay on Friday. They're going to bundle it till the end of the month. So who knows what's going to happen there, but it will move the market, whatever happens. Traders, remember this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. And traders, if you would come and visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and of course FXCL, I want to thank you for joining me for the Friday wrap-up, and we'll catch you next week as we review the daily charts for the week ahead. Traders, have a great weekend. Enjoy your time with loved ones, friends, and guests. Recharge, do a little bit of Forex homework, and we'll catch you in the next Asia session. Take care now. Bye-bye.